This week's episode is brought to you by cashfortrash.space. Cashfortrash.space, the easiest way to get rid of your space junk. Select the junk you want to sell, copy, go to their website, paste in the box to get a quote, copy the price of the quote, create a contract with the item you want to sell and assign it to Cash for Trash, paste the amount you got from the website. Once your contract is accepted, you can spend the money on stuff you really need. It's that simple. Cashfortrash.space. Hello everyone, Tanak here. Welcome to episode 144 of Building My Industrial Empire and EVE Online. Thanks again to Cash for Trash for sponsoring this week's episode. So let's start with the Plenitude HR. We are now at 126 members, so that is plus 8 compared to last week. And you can see here that the corporation increased by 1. That is because Ardco joined our alliance. Ardco is the corp from Ardell Corvalon, who has a YouTube series on From Zero to Fuel Tycoon, which is a little bit like my my initial journey in when I started this channel. It's very interesting. He's trying to basically make a living making fuel blocks starting from scratch. And at some point, I came upon his channel. We talked with each other, and he decided to join Plenitude Alliance with his corp. He's still going to continue his channel. So if you want to see what it's like in Plenitude from a member corporation, that's a good thing, a good channel a good series to follow. Anyway, that's it for the HR. Now, what I wanted, the Plenitude finance, the finance part. You can see here in GV Asset that the value has been climbing for 2 weeks now. Part of that is we had a huge mining fleet for the alliance. We got almost $1 billion worth of mineral to help finance the alliance, so it will help cash flow significantly. Before we had this type of fleet, we were mostly breaking even week after week, but this means that our net worth is progressing by $1 billion this week, which will be used again to finance the growth of the alliance, which means eventually down the road more station rigs on our station, that sort of stuff. So that the financial part is going great because of that up, and again the rest of the finance of the corp was mostly holding steady, but still pretty decent chunk. And as the number grow, the little bit that you tax, this little 1% tax, scale up with the number of members, so it does mean that our cash flow is increasing, which is good. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about was the Plentymart. The Plentymart has been going great this week, and this today in particular. If you're looking, we had a big spike in order, so we're now at clearly again the dominant market in Canada. In ISK, if you compare to Irmelin, we're still not beating Irmelin. But what I'm noticing is at Irmelin, if you look a few weeks back, they were hovering over 300 billion in asset for sale, and they're going down a little bit. So, and the number of order too. So I don't know if we're catching that those order, or if it's just like normal fluctuation. But still, it means that we're still like we are like clearly in terms of number of order, but also in ISK value, we're catching up to them. So the Plentymart is growing. If you go on the standard market hub here, with the average, the past 3 day average, we dropped a little bit. Again, these are fluctuations. So if you go with the number of the basic ranking, which is the average sell value for the past 3 days, we dropped a little bit to 61 place. Sometime we climb a little bit, depending, like if we get 3 good days in a row. So because trade in those local market hub is not like I can't say it's 500 million a day or something. It's gonna be it could be 2 billion one day and 200 million the next day. So it's a lot of fluctuation. One way we could evaluate it is, okay, let's say what's the average in the past 2 weeks, which is probably something like more stable. And that would, and honestly, you're gonna get my reaction, as I'm guessing we're probably like top 50. Again, yeah, Plentymart. You see, on the average on the past 2 weeks, we're averaging 600 mil in transaction a day, and about 100 transaction every day. So you see that people are using the Plentymart to buy ammo, to buy like consumable a lot, which is volume, but not as much ISK value. But again, our little file here that we use to make sure that everything is supply has grown a little bit, where we're including T2's ammo. So like I'm using like a file like this, I can say, oh, okay, we're out of Javelin S, so we need to make sure that there's some for sale if somebody wants to buy them. Or we can monitor each type of drone, and you can see, which is very nice, I can see that people have started to put all on the market. Now, if that the Plentymart becomes a place where you go and buy your ship and the load, then sky's the limit. We are kind of limited though by simply by the region. Regional market are limited by the population of the region, and even if we did bring some life back into Canada, and I do feel that our corporation, our alliance has a lot of effect on the region, because you're seeing more people online, more people using the space. We still depend on the people living there for our market hub to grow and for the region to be lucrative. So all in all, still pretty interesting, and I'm learning a lot about the market, which was a part of the Eve sandbox that I didn't pay that much attention to. Most of the time when I was leading one before, I was focusing on soft warfare and keeping the corp alive and managing SRP, and so that's a completely different gameplay to manage an ISAC corp, to look at the market, to make sure that it's kind of like running a convenience store. So it's pretty interesting actually. So I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying that part of the gameplay. Now the other part, politics, war and politics. Actually, I have two interesting stuff. WOMP has been involved in an ISEC war this week. I have some footage that I want to show you. WOMP has been at war in ISEC with a corp that's named Stray Mining Corporation. They were part of WOMP before, and they at some point they got into a little bit of an argument with Rexon, because they refused to train doctrine ship and participate in our PvP operation. So they got expelled from WOMP, and there was like a little bit of bad blood between the two groups. Now we did to get into an ISAC war with them. We declare war. It was actually WOMP that declared war on them. Me, as the person managing the ISEC operation with Plenitude. I already had spotted an Athanor that I had scouted different moon in Talidal, and they had an Athanor on one of the moon that we wanted. I offered to them at one point. I did offer them the opportunity to sell it to us. That was before they even joined one, and they refused to sell it to us. So I used that war, discussing with the rest of WOMP leadership, that well, if we want to fight these guys, and at the same time there's a station that I want in Talidal, well, a moon that I would like to have for Plenitude in Talidal, we might as well grab it. So we declared war on them, and we started shooting their structure. What you can see here is their Raitaru, because they had a Raitaru and an Athanor. This is their Raitaru dying. The thing is, we ref their station, but after that they join an alliance, which is Kalau Cartel, or Kalau Cartel or Kalau Alliance, something like that. We're at war with them currently. These guys actually, we didn't expect them to form up. We had like very good number. We had 41 Raven to actually bring to that Raitaru fight, and we didn't expect them, based on their previous number in PvP, we didn't expect them to form up. But these guys, I will tell you one thing, they have more balls than Phoenix Coalition, because they did form up to defend their thing, and they form up with a very good form from them. 20 Tornado, which is a significant force for a group that size. Obviously, we had them outnumbered, outgunned, so it's not the actual fight where there's not much they could have done. They probably did the best play they could do. They actually managed to shoot two of our Logi down. We shot a few of their Tornado. We succeeded with the objective, which was the point of the war. We got the Raitaru, and a little bit later we got the Athanor, and we re-anchor structure on that moon, which was our goal. The war is still ongoing, but we don't intend to renew it after that. We got what we wanted out of that war. But still, honestly, like, kudos guys, you really put your foot forward and try to defend your stuff, so that can only be you got my respect for that. So that's pretty much what happened during that war. Like you saw the footage, we shot the thing, and then we moved away with our little balls of Raven. I'm gonna put the battle report just for you to see. But yeah, there's not much they could have done. It was really a question of this. I don't want to say baby seal clubbing, because the baby seal fought back more than we expected, but we just it was just a number game at that point, so there's not much they could have done. Then, so at this point we now have two Athanor in Talidal, which is pretty nice, because we're pulling two moon. And what you're seeing right now is the Great Talidal Moon heist. We noticed that a corp that is fighting WOMP in Nullsec is pulling moon in Talidal, where we have our typical mining fleet. So right now what we're doing is basically helping ourselves to their moon mineral. Stealing is bad, kid, but the best moon goo is the one you didn't pay for the pull. So part of ISEC shenanigan that we're doing right now is we're just basically one guy spotted that station, spotted the moon pool, and noticed that they weren't mining it, so we're just helping ourselves. Aside from that, politics, well, I can talk a little bit about the WOMP part of politics. we had the big fight last week, like explained, and now this week, what we noticed is that Fraternity is anchoring a Fortizar in T8T. So it looks, at least on the surface, and the message that I have, the contact that I have, it looks like Phoenix Coalition is calling in Fraternity to the rescue. We'll see. We'll see what it does. So right now they have Fortizar anchoring in T8T. It's when it's gonna come out of anchoring, it's a good window to strike for it. I don't know if we're gonna be able to form up for that because it's a weird timer for us, but we're probably gonna try to do something. Not sure. Anyway, we'll see. That's not the area I manage. So this one, I'll see if there's a ping. I'll try to be there if I can, if it's at a time that I can. But this one is managed by the WOMP nullsec. Aside from that, what else? Me as a pilot, what did I do this week? Honestly, this week I've been cheating on Eve a little bit and playing Blue Protocol. Sometimes it's good to just do a little bit of change of pace. But after the guy in Corp managed to do that incredible mining hop and added 1 billion to the Corp coffer, I just said to myself, well, I'm managing this group, so I can't let my guy do all the work, and I need to get back in the game and do my part as the CEO. So, but I still, even when I'm playing another game like this, I'm always logging every day, accepting contract, accepting new recruit, and I'm always on Discord. So you're never like completely, when you're playing as a CEO, you're never completely AFK from the game. You're playing Discord, you're playing, but you're still, even though you're not actively in game, you're still doing stuff. Now there is the downside to that is that you're not on comm, you're not talking with the guy, you're not building the community as much when you're not directly talking with the guy. So you can't be away from the game for too long. But I did manage to play. Like when I say I'm playing another game, I'm still playing at least in game at least 30 minutes an hour every day. So now, what else? Do I have other stuff to do? Yeah, what plan for next week? Right now, what happened is we've picked up most of the low-hanging fruit from on the Poco side. We're pulling 2 moons. We're doing great as a mining corp. Now I need to figure out how else do I grow this corp, because it's an ISEC corp, so there is at a point, it's not like you have SOV to defend, it's not like or to conquer, it's not like you have it's not politically as involving, especially when you're in part of a larger group like this. So I need to figure out other stuff. What I did want to do initially, our plan was to grow again. Here, if you look at the ISEC area, here, filter by security. If you look at the ISEC area, here is our main base of operation, and we're like very active in that area. Now, if you go into Tashmercon and then into domain, you get to Amar. The initial plan was to basically keep an active presence and make Amar great again, like we say internally. So what I'm looking at is probably expand, start looking at ways of expanding into Tashmercon. Again, there is the question of power projection. I because as we get further away from WOMP main base of operation, it does mean that our structure are, if the thing is 14 jump out, it's more annoying for WOMP to come and defend them if there's a war. So I'll have to discuss that with Rexon. The other area we're trying to focus here, Brave is very the Brave ISEC group is active in this area here. They have their own market hub in Kerbez, and they own a bunch of POCO in the area. And it's basically we're not going to go over. There would be no point in contesting them for that when we still can grow ourselves on our way. So I'm not sorry, I'm not thinking too much of expanding in that middle area here. Possibly expand and grab a little more POCO in the area up north here, toward Corazon, but this is the same dynamic as Tashmerkan, where if I do want to expand there, I have to take into account the power projection. You don't want to be spread out too much. So kind of thing going through my head right now. We need to discuss it internally with what the guys want to do. There's a lot of activity both on Discord and in corp, so it's very healthy. And maybe I myself, I'm kind of pushed with the series, say, okay, I need to do something to have something to say next week. But sometimes what you need in a group is just to do business as usual. It makes for a boring YouTube show, but it is sometimes it's just what a corp need to do. So we'll see next week. These are basically the thought going through my head at the moment. Anyway, that's pretty much what I had for you. I hope you guys enjoy, and see you guys next week. Bye bye.